Hello everybody, this is Francesco on FreeFX. So just basically today wanting to share sort of my thoughts on the actual Bitcoin situation. We have a lot of reports of Bitcoin going up to some amazing levels, talking about Bitcoin going up to 20,000. 20,000 is up here, as you can see. We're not too far out at the moment. We're at 18,257. Now, I didn't actually jump on the bandwagon for this. I've actually really traded this three or four times, I think, in the last couple of weeks. I never really traded Bitcoin before, and just trade it on demo. And I got some nice trades. As you can see, this is the daily. We've got some nice moves here from the 100-day moving average, neatly going up. So I traded it up. Did it fairly well with these. No losses, some nice profits, and basically just kind of wondering whether to get back in or not. And I tried to find out something about Coinbase, which is the company that is behind Bitcoin, the largest Bitcoin company. There's a rumor that they might go public, get listed late this year, but we're actually at the end of this year almost, so probably maybe next year now. And I sort of wondered, because we don't know their accounts, so sort of some of their accounts are kept private. We don't know their economic situation, although some of it is public. I have a look at it. So, but you kind of want to have a nice graph of it. So when it goes listed, we'll have a chart of the actual market value of the company, etc., etc. And then it would be interesting to see an actual comparison of Bitcoin versus Coinbase as the company grows. Of course, Bitcoin is not manipulated by central governments or central banks. It's purely based on people buying or selling it. So, but even so, we're always trying as technical analysts sort of forecast when we trade where price might be going next. So any kind of information, although publicly available information is obviously public to everybody, but as long as it helps us to kind of get some sense of direction, then it reinforces things that we get from indicators and trend lines, etc. And we want to know, obviously, if we're in a range or in a trend, etc. So looking at this now, I'm kind of seeing that this is the RSI. I've used this in a few videos before, you know, that I kind of use this a lot, but essentially back here around 88 point something was in August of last year. We've not really been back to these levels, and you see that when we got to these levels where price was going up in middle of 2019, and RSI, the oscillator, was showing that we kind of peaked 3 times, and then prices started coming down. So there was an early kind of warning of essentially divergence between the oscillator here and price up here, and that kind of gives a warning sign that price is going to, and indeed did decline from here at 12,800, let's call it, down all the way to 4,322. Huge drop there. Obviously, you know, riding that drop was full of ups and downs, crossing the 100-day moving average several times, so false starts, etc. But overall, this was a good reversal sign from the kind of RSI divergence. Now, we haven't been back to those levels. I set mine to 80-20 because that's a bit more of a filter, and we don't get chopped out at every 70 into thinking that there's some kind of reversal going on. Now, you can see that there's been quite a move south here, and this started moving below whilst price was going up. So divergence happened in the summer of this year. Price did go down, tested the 100-day moving average, moved back up with a vengeance. Now we've gone up all the way. Currently we're actually at 90.06, one of the highest kind of RSI levels we've seen in some time. And what's interesting is if you go to the 4-hour chart, you'll see that there's a bit of divergence there. And kind of more obviously if I just zoom into that from what day is that? The 17th of November. So just the last few days, we've seen a bit of a divergence. The price is kind of being slowly going up, but not really breaking new highs. Quite a small ATR, and if I show the ATR there, see that there's kind of been declining ATR, and also price is going sort of slowly up, but RSI is actually coming down. If you're not convinced, I'll just kind of zoom that in a little bit so you can see the difference. So you see that price here is kind of moving up slowly, and RSI is sort of actually coming down. From this peak here on the 17th, RSI has just been declining there. So on that basis, the fact we were severely overbought historically, and the fact that there's this kind of divergence on the 4 hour, etc., for the last 4 days, essentially, I think probably proceed with caution. And also seeing quite a parabolic rise, because if you look at the daily, you can see how it's actually risen. If I just kind of put that into perspective, once we tested the 100-day moving average in September and moved up from there in October, it's actually being quite a way up from there. So if you kind of believe in sort of, I don't know, mean reversion or returning to norm, if I took a measuring rule there and went sort of from here, so the widest divergence we saw was about here, I think. Let me get this right. Doing one more time because I haven't done it right. So from about here to here. Okay, that's 55%, this tells me. And we'll try it again from here. What's that? 55. If we go from here, sort of when you sort of set off at this point to where we are now, it's about 75. So essentially, the divergence we had from price